Okay, so it's the morning after the night before. We saw Ready Player One, an absolute sci-fi treat of a book which you're reading.
Yeah.
You enjoying
Nearly
it?
finished.
Nearly finished. I read this about 2 years ago, and I remember thinking at the time, my God, this would make such a good movie. Anyway, so Ready Player One, Spielberg's latest adventure sci-fi flick. What was it about? How would you describe what it was about?
Well, set in the future when the world is kind of falling apart and there isn't enough room for civilization, and because the real world's so boring, this man named Halliday invents a VR, a virtual reality game called the Oasis, which everybody ends up living their life through because the real world's so boring.
What did we think going in? What were your guys' expectations?
Yeah, I really liked like the beginning until it got into like the middle. I think that's where it went a bit.
But were you excited about going to see it, having seen the trailer?
No.
Why not?
I just thought I thought they should have just kept it as a book. And I was worried that it was like just going to be really bad, but then I actually really liked it after I saw it.
I was looking forward to it because I saw 2 trailers. The first trailer wasn't very good, but the second trailer was longer and it looked really good. So I was looking forward to it on that basis. And also it's directed by Spielberg. So.
Who I have to say is my childhood favourite.
Yeah.
He is like my father that I never had. I went into this really nervous because I was kind of expecting a lot, hoping for a lot. He'd kind of picked up a book that I really highly regarded. And so the potential for it to sort of crack in his hands was massive.
I really wanted it to be good. I was panicking because it's Spielberg.
I know, I was a bit panicky.
It's quite a complicated book as well.
Very.
It has loads of elements.
Incredibly complicated.
And I think they did really well. Obviously, they had a few things in there which I really liked in the book that they didn't have in the film, which was a bit disappointing. But I thought they did it really well.
Yeah,
because if you really think about it, the book, if you'd look at the book and then think, going to make a film out of this, you'd be like, what am I going to do?
It's an incredibly complicated film about video gaming.
Yeah.
So how would you relate to that?
I enjoyed it a lot. Some bits more than others, but I did feel in a way that it could have been more a game than a film.
It should have been more a game.
Or I felt it was.
Right,
so there were great long chunks of it where I thought, I can see this working as a game.
Yeah. This isn't based on a game.
No, but the way that they shot it and the way that everything was merging into everything and that seemed game-like to me.
I don't know, I thought it was, because when I saw the trailer, I was a bit worried that there was going to be too much of in the VR game, in the Oasis, rather than the real world, because I quite like all of the scenes in the book that he has in his actual world, but I thought there was quite a lot of them in real life.
I wanted more of.
Yeah, you said that yesterday, and I agree with you.
In the real world, because I found it more interesting than the Oasis.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And weirdly, did you know that most of those shots were shot in Birmingham?
No.
God,
Yeah. They used that as a sort of backdrop for sort of wherever it was set in Ohio, wasn't it?
So weird. No, I thought they did it really well because it's really hard because the main concept of the book is the game. And although there are a lot of stuff going on in the real world, the whole point is that they defeat the villain in the game.
Yeah.
So they had to have all those bits in the game. I felt a lot of sympathy for their avatars as well, because in the trailer I wasn't too sure because they looked a bit too CGI'd.
Yeah.
But then I thought they did it really well.
Yeah, I did actually, the avatars,
Yeah.
In fact, I like the avatars better than the people.
I loved that other villain.
IROC.
IROC,
Yeah.
It was so funny.
I loved IROC.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought IROC. I mean, you felt though he was derivative from Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, from the
rock
the
guy.
rock man.
Yeah, the crumbly rock.
His
man.
lines were very similar. That very dry humour.
It does feel like most of these films have to have that sort of element of the comic foil. I mean,
yes.
I'll tell you why I'm feeling a bit confused about the whole thing, and I'm feeling a bit conflicted. I liked it, and it was better than I thought, but I just don't know if it was that great.
No.
And I'm just worried that because it's Spielberg, I'm willing it to be better than it was.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was so good. We realised all of the video game references, which I don't know if you guys did.
Oh no. Well,
That's why I'm asking.
Yeah,
is it of interest to anyone who doesn't get the video game references? Because I didn't get all of them.
No, I didn't get probably most of them, but there were lots of film references which I did get.
Yeah.
I mean, The Shining.
They kind of given a clue in the place that they're going to find the key is in The Shining, the film. And they did it really well, but they were in all of the scenes and all of the rooms that they were in The Shining, like the room where Jack's writing all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy.
Yeah.
And the red rum bit where it's all coming out of the elevator. It was really well done. Like you believed you were really in the film.
Yeah.
I thought for me that was the film at its strongest. I thought it was and interestingly that wasn't a computer game moment. For me, I thought that was it.
I thought it was
full
too,
swing.
which is a bit of a worry if that was the strongest scene.
I don't know if it's a
No,
worry.
I don't know.
Why is that a worry?
Well, because it was The Shining. It wasn't the film.
Oh, I see what you mean.
And in that sense, that was the scariest image, and probably will always remain so. And chasing them through the.
So in a sense,
snow.
it was only effective when it was recreating what The Shining had already
Yes.
done.
That was.
But I think they recreated it really well.
They
Well,
did
they
recreate it
did,
very
but
well.
that's not what the film was about.
No.
In one sense,
I
Striking.
didn't really like the main character.
I
That's interesting.
didn't.
Why not?
I didn't like his avatar, and I didn't like him.
Oh, I liked the Avatar. I didn't like him.
I like both of them.
I thought he was a bit boring.
I think he underplayed it a bit.
I
I don't know
do.
whether he underplayed it. I thought there was going to be a build to his character where he sort of
Yeah.
became more explosive.
Yeah.
But you know what? Being devil's advocate, I agree that he did underplay it, but wasn't that the point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
think
As an
it
actor,
was.
would you say that's
Yeah.
the point?
Yeah, because he's quite ordinary in the book.
Yeah.
Ah,
He's a geeky, ordinary kind of guy, a bit
Yeah.
like Halliday.
You know, they were all quite ordinary, and I
I
think that
liked
was the
that.
point.
Because they were different when they were there.
Yeah.
When they were the Avatar, they
Yeah.
weren't ordinary, and then they
Yeah.
were in.
yeah.
Who was your favourite character in the whole thing? Was it IROC?
Yeah, I think so.
Were you sort of wishing and waiting for him to come on camera? I was
I
a
don't
bit.
know. I really liked H as well.
Yeah, there was a sort of similarity between them, wasn't there?
Yeah. No, I wasn't too sure at first
Yeah.
because I
yeah.
had an idea from when I was reading the book of what H was like, and it was really different. Like the voice.
And what did you think of the girl who played Artemis?
I
really
liked
liked
her.
her.
She was my
And
favourite.
she's from, what's she from? She's
Me and Ellen.
Me, Ellen,
Mia
the Dying
and the
Girl.
Dying Girl, yeah. I thought she was good. There was that wonderful
did.
scene where she's sitting in the real world with him and she goes off into the distance. And then suddenly just
swears.
it's a really suddenly
Yeah.
swears.
Yeah,
I thought
yeah.
she played it really nicely.
Me too. Yeah.
But again, I thought she was quite ordinary and in a good way.
But I liked that. I thought that was
Mm.
the reason why they.
I thought she was a better actress, though, actually, than the boy.
I really liked, and I wasn't expecting to like it in the trailer, I really liked the scene in the club where they were dancing to Saturday Night
Me
Fever.
too.
Oh, yes.
I loved that.
You know, with
I
the
wanted to
colourful
do
floor.
it as well.
Yeah.
And they were like flying. And
It was a moment where I unusually got quite captivated by their avatars and the world, and I was
yeah.
sort of quite smitten.
I think that was a certain scene where I really felt for their avatars.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
kind of wanted I was expecting the fight scenes to be better.
really,
Yeah.
yeah. And let's talk about Ben Mendelsohn, who I've also had a little bit of a man crush on
Wait,
for
which
quite a
one?
while now. He's
He was
the
the
main
baddie,
villain.
the ultimate
The
baddie.
one that sits in the chair.
Yeah, the one
Yes.
who sits in the chair. So Ben Mendelsohn, who we know from films like Animal Kingdom, the
who's so
Netflix series Bloodlines. I mean, we're big, as a family, big fans of him.
Big fan.
What did you think?
It was awful.
Wow.
In your opinion,
In my opinion, he was dreadful.
Oh, okay.
He was like an automaton. I mean, he was
I
just
didn't like.
stomped about.
I didn't think about him like the other characters. Say if they weren't in that scene, I'd be thinking about them. But the whole time, like he'd suddenly come in the scene, and I'd be like, oh yeah, him.
Oh, that's interesting. So he wasn't his malevolence, his evil, wasn't reaching outside of the scenes that he was in. Well, they weren't even really reaching into the scenes he was
No,
in.
well, that's a problem, surely.
That's a
'cause-
really good observation.
Yeah.
I didn't think he
You
was.
liked him.
Well, I didn't like him. I mean, he wasn't a great villain, but it didn't affect the film for me. Like, I wasn't thinking about, oh, Ben Mendelsohn's really bad in this. I was kind of taken away with the story, and I kind of wasn't paying attention to his performance. I mean, I didn't think he was all that bad.
I mean, there
Yeah.
was one scene where he turned round from whatever was going on to run, and he literally, watch out for the shot, he literally doesn't know whether to go left or right.
Yeah,
And he looked like he was confused.
and that's direction, isn't it?
Well,
Not-
it is. Well, you're
Yeah.
directing him where to go.
Yeah,
Come on,
exactly.
Spielberg. Please
Yeah.
tell me
I
it was
don't
him.
like how he stomped around shouting at everyone. I found that really annoying.
I
I
liked
agree.
all of those bits though with the IOI people on their machines.
Yeah, it was
and when
clever.
they
Oh, I
die,
love
it would,
that.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
red with
Yeah.
smoke across
And
it.
the overhead
The
shots
set
where
was
they
really
went.
good.
Yeah, that was
along.
really clever. And I
Yeah.
thought also the choreography of those characters suggesting this sort of multi-corporate
Yeah.
company. That, I like the politics of the film.
Yeah,
Me
I
too,
did.
I mean, if you actually unpack it, it's about a revolution
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
the masses.
Rebellion.
It's a rebellion.
Oh,
What about
Halliday was
Let's
pretty
go back
good,
to
yeah.
what did you think of Halliday then?
I thought he was good.
Rhodes, Yeah.
Yeah, did you like him?
I don't know if I did. I didn't really think about him.
Because he's having a bit of a love fest with Spielberg, Mark Rylance.
He is, yeah.
He's like his favourite, he played the BFG.
I think I liked him at the end when he's in his old room.
His
I like
room's
that
so
bit.
cool.
He's got the coolest room
Yeah.
as
He
a
has.
kid.
Well, look at yours.
But
Well, yeah,
that's
it's not too dissimilar actually.
but I thought that was distinctly sad when he goes out
Yeah, that's right.
with his
Played out really
younger
nice.
self.
Did you well up?
No.
Were there any moments where you got goose pimples?
No.
I did in bits
I did a bit.
with him.
Oh dear.
I think it's different if you've read the book. I wasn't too sure at first, but then I thought he did it delicately.
No, he did.
did actually. Right,
I mean, to be
delicately
honest, the
right.
first
And his
shot of
hair
him
was
with his
great.
hair, I thought, I don't know about this. But then he did play.
What
it
about
really
Simon
well.
Pegg?
Awesome.
He was hardly in it.
What about his hair?
I know.
What's going on with
You know,
men's
just
hair?
grab
I know.
off his head.
Did you want to pull his hair off?
Yeah.
They can do all this technology, but they can't put hair on a man's head.
Exactly.
What's going on? It's a geek film. There's no
Yeah,
two
it
ways about
is.
it.
It
Because
is.
Finley was just like the whole
He
thing.
loved it.
Oh my god, this is sick.
Yeah.
What was your worst part of the film? In sum up.
Ben Mendelsohn, I have to say.
Did he? Oh,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Was it too long?
Very slightly, yes.
Yeah.
It could have done
By
with
a few
being
minutes,
20
yeah.
minutes less.
I thought it could have been 20 minutes shorter.
But Spielberg's
I
got
don't
a thing
20
about
minutes,
not
maybe 10.
Yeah, maybe 10.
Spielberg does have a bit of a.
Problem.
I just wanted more. I tell you what, the world that he lived in, the world that he was in, with the stacks, was that? Was what it
Oh
was called?
yeah, that was
Yeah.
good.
That reminded
actually.
me of District 9, and
Yes.
I liked
Me too.
that. I
Yes.
thought the look of it. I wanted to go into corners. I wanted to be in it.
What about the female villain?
I liked
Did you
it.
hate
She
her?
annoyed
Did
me
you hate
so
her?
much.
Yeah.
Why did you hate her?
Why didn't you give this one for me? It's really annoying.
Yeah, but you hated her because her fringe was.
No, that was
No,
me.
no.
Oh, that was you.
No, I also didn't like her friend.
I thought Ben Mendelsohn was better than her.
Oh, he was
Oh,
not.
he was.
She-
She was
Yeah.
awful.
I don't think they went well together as
I
well.
didn't really understand. I don't know what her accent was either.
I think
Absolutely hated
IROC
the
should have
film.
been the humorous villain
Yeah.
throughout. I
Yeah.
think they should have just had him as the villain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could have done with more of the detective work.
Yeah.
I liked the process of them finding stuff out, and I felt that they and the book is mostly that.
Is it?
The book is mostly them finding stuff out.
Oh.
But then people would have complained that there was too much of that
Well,
and
yeah.
needed more of the
Yeah.
fighting.
So
Yeah.
I mean, my worry for it commercially is that I don't think it's going to deliver enough in either camp. It's not going to be geeky enough for
No.
geeks, and it's not going to be commercial enough for us all to go as a fan. I mean, I know for a fact, Mum would have hated it.
Yeah.
She would have found it
Oh,
dull.
she
She would have
would.
found it boring. She'd have found it irrelevant.
Bam, 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 bam.
So give us your score and tell us why. Let's start with Nanny Die.
Gosh. 6.5.
Whoa,
6.5
that's quite low.
with a stomach rumble as well.
Sorry.
Whoa.
Can you edit that out?
No, I don't know. No, we'll keep
Oh.
that in.
I might go with an 8.
Oh, an 8.
I really, really liked
Yeah.
it.
Okay. Good. What about you, Kooks?
I think it's 7.
Okay. Oh, that's better than I thought you were going to give it.
Mm.
I mean, you leant over at one point and you said you really liked the beginning. It was you said it's a great start.
Yeah.
And you were right. It was
Yeah.
a very kind
I
of
like the bit where he's explaining it all.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does a lot of that in the book.
I thought I could have done with even more of him telling us stuff.
I could.
I went in there absolutely petrified he was going to drop the ball. I don't think he dropped the ball, so I'm going to give it Spielberg, man. 7 out of 10.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow,
7
that's
out of
quite
10.
low for you.